responsible for paying their own energy bills and starting to look at, hey, where are these dollars going? You know, are our lights turned off at night? Do our computer monitors shut down? You know, it comes right out of their bottom line, and effectively they're going to help the buildings to move up in energy star. And that communication between the tenants and the buildings, I think, are just key to move forward.
Thanks, Morris.
Well, I think green, it goes through the like economy cycle. When the water prices jump, then people say, oh, I start thinking green. When the kilowatts were 13 cents per kilowatts, I start thinking green. So it's going to go through its cycle. But I think eventually, I don't think hopefully it won't be called green anymore. It just be the norm. It just be this is what we need to do. It's not green. Be more efficient.
Thanks, Dave.
If anybody watched 60 Minutes the other night, you saw these balloon boxes or something like that, the fuel cells that are coming. And we're looking at combined heat and power plant in where we generate some or all of our electricity. And there's just new innovations coming. The new S Tower downtown's got windmills on the top. They aren't going to generate a whole lot of power, to run the whole building, but it's a statement of things to come, and it's really being looked at as an experimental project. Recycling is just going to continue to improve on that, and I just think that this isn't like the year 2000 that we went through, and this is going to be changes for life. I mean, that disappeared. The green is going to be something with us, and I agree with what Morris said, that it's just going to be normal in the future. Maybe it may not be called green, but it is going to continue to something.
Thanks. All right, now questions from all of you. Anybody have questions? We've got these guys who've been through the process, and your question's not too small. Sharing this with the group is important. Yes, ma'am.
When you go through retrofits, like toilet retrofits and any kind of tangible equipment retrofits, what do you do with thinking forward on that waste before you go through the process? So that doesn't become a non-green issue, like all the toilets you have to dispose of the landfill, or all the mechanical equipment that you have to dispose as opposed to recycling. You all think of that before you make that change?
I'll talk a minute to that. You do have to think about that. You do have to plan ahead.
question that I have is about lead specifically, and I want to know how difficult will be to go for recertification every 5 years. Is the same process or is easier? I don't know if any of you went through the recertification process.
Well, yeah, we have learned, you know, that it's not just you go through this once and you get your certification. You have to then start keeping track of everything you use. You can recertify after 1 year, after 2 years, after 3 years, but you have to recertify by 5 years. It's just that if you do it after 5 years, you have to have 5 years of data to recertify with. So we're looking at somewhere in between. We haven't recertified yet. I think we had ours about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. So, but we're keeping track of everything, and then at any point that you